which begins tonight on Jumarat, Surah Dukhan. The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, if you read Surah Kaf, Allah establishes a nur for you, a light for you from this week to the next two Jummah, inshallah. When you read Surah Dukhan, Allah forgives you your past sins, which we have read tonight. When you read Surah Mulk, chapter 67, that Surah Mulk makes Shafayat, an intercession for you in the grave. We also read Surah Waqiyah. When you read Surah Waqiyah, Allah has promised that you will never go through starvation. So that's why we get together on a Thursday night, and we read all these surahs. We get everyone together. So it's more or less a very spiritual evening. It's not the regular talk and talk, because we hear a lot of talk and we don't get much action. So tonight is more a spiritual night, and that's what we do. And we do some dhikr that the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has recommended. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, Subhanallahil Azim. The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, it is very light on the tongue, but it's heavy, thaqeel, heavy on the scale. On the scale, meaning we get a lot of blessings for that. And that's why we read that. And we read the kalima la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. We are recommended to do that a minimum of 100 times every day. Or if we can, in the morning 100 times, in the evening 100 times. So hence we do all these things here, inshallah. Surah Fatiha, again, some of you, just a reminder, because Ramadan is coming, and whether Ramadan is here or not, this is something we should do every day. Surah Fatiha, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, no gathering is blessed unless Surah Fatiha is recited. Darood Sharif, until salutation and Darood Sharif are sent on the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That's why we read that. When you read the four Quls, they all got different blessings and different powers. The four Quls and Surah Ikhlas, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, if you read Surah Ikhlas, Qul Huwallahu Ahad, you read it 3 times, you get the blessings as though you have read the whole Quran. Hence we read it together here. Surah Falaq, Surah Nas, Qul Ya Kafirun. You know, these are all surahs of the Quran that are blessings and means of protection for us. And Ayatul Kursi, you hear that all the time again. I don't remember if they read it after Maghrib or the Hadith, but the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, there is a surah that is the peak of the Quran, and that is Surah Baqarah. And in that surah, there is a verse that is the peak of that surah, and that is Ayatul Kursi. That's why Ayatul Kursi is considered the most powerful verse of the Holy Quran. So we read that also. So everything that we read here on a Thursday night has a purpose, a fadail, and a virtue. It's not that we read it because we have nothing to do. It's not that we read it that we don't have other thing to say. Because again, as I said, we hear a lot of talk. Nobody reads their waqiyah, nobody reads their Quran every day. You just got a few people who do it. And what I want to tell myself and tell you, you know, Ramadan is coming. Don't wait for Ramadan. And when Ramadan comes, it should activate us to be more active. But throughout the year, we should do that and try to keep the very simple things the Prophet ﷺ says. Be regular on small actions. Be regular on small actions. And if we would read our Quran daily and our basic surahs daily and do our dhikr daily, you'll be amazed to know how powerful that is. You know, it's like a motor car. If you keep your car clean every day, it looks clean. If you wash it once a year for Eid, it doesn't look clean all year. So it's only clean for Eid. And if you keep your car well maintained and you service it when it needs to be serviced, it will run good. You don't wait for it to break down and then decide to do an entire mechanical job. So similarly with your spiritual life, you don't wait to fall down spiritually, get in a problem, get in a disaster, have some frustration and stress, and then you go into the Quran and dhikr. Every day do your Quran and dhikr. Every day do your Quran and dhikr. It's like maintaining and checking things and check and balance. And that keeps us spiritually on the go. You don't wait just for things to crash.